The word feedback often generates negative feelings. Leadership coach Marshall Goldsmith introduced the concept of feed forward. The concept is not so new. In this video, I will explain what feed forward is and how it can be used to improve performance all across the organization. It is a great team building tool. It is a healthier way to address performance issues, in my opinion. So let me ask you, how do you do performance evaluations in your organization? How do you help others grow and thrive? Please share with me your ideas in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. So let's get started. People need to know if their performance is aligned with the job expectations. They need to know what they have done well and what they need to change. Typically, this information is given in the form of downward feedback or top-down approach from leaders to their team. Just as the team members need feedback from leaders, leaders also benefit from feedback from their team. This upward feedback is given using 360-degree assessment tools to measure leaders' effectiveness and competence. But there is one major problem with feedback. It focuses on the past. It gives information about how people have been performing in the past. Guys, we cannot change the past. Feed forward, on the other hand, is reverse of feedback. The concept of feed forward was made popular by leadership coach Marshall Goldsmith. The intent of feed forward is to help people identify specific steps they can take to reach their goals and improve future performance. You know, guys, the difference between feedback and feed forward is easy to understand with a simple analogy. Feedback is like a rear view mirror. It allows us to look at the past, learn from it so we can avoid mistakes in the future. Feed forward, on the other hand, is the windshield through which we look ahead to anticipate what tools and skills will be required to be successful in the future. Feed forward is basically advice, suggestions, or ideas that help people perform better in future. It can come from the leader to subordinates, or from subordinates to leader, or it can come from anyone who has the knowledge of competencies required to fulfill job responsibilities. I often use feed forward as a team building exercise. Usually 10 to 15 people participate in this exercise, but it can be conducted with a much larger group, say 100 or more participants. With a smaller group, it takes about 30 to 40 minutes. So, how to conduct a feed forward assessment? First, everyone gathers in a room. 2 participants partner for a one-on-one dialogue. Each participant plays 2 roles. In one role, the participant is asked to pick one behavior they would like to change. Change in this behavior should make a significant positive difference in their lives. They describe this behavior to their partner by asking, for example, I want to overcome procrastination. Give me 2 suggestions for future that might help me. Then they listen attentively to the suggestion given by their partner without making positive judgment such as that is a good idea or criticizing such as that won't work. They simply treat the idea as a gift, thanking their partner for the suggestions. Then the role reverses. They ask their partner what would they like to change and provide feed-forward advice, 2 suggestions to help them change. The entire process of both giving and receiving advice takes about 3 to 5 minutes. Then they move on to another participant to partner with them in the same way and keep repeating the process until the exercise is over. The average participant has 6 to 8 dialogue sessions. They usually would write down all the suggestions they have received and they choose 2 to 3 ideas to act on and create their own action plan for improvement. There are 2 rules of the game. Number 1, participants are not allowed to give any feedback about the past. Number two, they are not allowed to judge the advice given. They simply receive it and treat it as a gift. Feedforward has become very popular in the workplace. So why is Feedforward more helpful than feedback? Number one, Feedforward ideas help people improve, become more effective and successful in their role. It gets people excited and motivated because it connects them to their vision of an ideal self, someone they are aspiring to become. Feedforward techniques are often used in sports. Basketball players are taught to envision the ball going into the hoop and to imagine a perfect shot. When they envision success, they get encouraged and motivated to perform better. Number two, Feedforward suggestions are non-judgmental because the focus is on future performance, not on the past mistakes. Therefore, people are more open to receiving it. Number three, participants self-identify areas they want to improve upon. They are the ones seeking the advice, so they are open to receiving it. Feedback, on the other hand, involves discussion of mistakes, shortcomings, and problems. It is often perceived as a criticism. Do you ever like your spouse telling you the mistakes you have made in the past? Reliving past mistakes is an unpleasant experience. Guys, radical transparency and candid feedback usually backfires. Telling someone what they are doing wrong or what they are lacking is a direct blow to their intelligence, pride, and self-respect. They will never buy into any suggestions or advice from you. So to know more on this topic, please watch my earlier video called Don't Condemn or Criticize. Feedforward, on the other hand, is seen as positive because it focuses on providing solutions. Number four, people do not take feedforward advice personally, whereas almost all feedback is taken personally. No matter how feedback is delivered, it leads to some defensiveness on the part of receiver. On the other hand, most people will readily accept advice. And in fact, go-getters will actively seek advice. That's why coaches like Tony Robbins and Tim Ferriss are so popular. Number five, feedforward can be used to address suboptimal performance issues because people are usually self-aware, and feedforward gives them an opportunity to ask for advice in areas where they could come up higher. Number six, giving negative feedback is uncomfortable, but what about giving advice? Most of us are too eager to give advice to others. It can be fun to give and receive wisdom from others. One time, long ago, I tried to play this game with my family, my daughter and with my husband. I wanted to improve upon a few things, so I thought, let's play this game with them. I explained to them the rules of the game, that they cannot talk about my past mistakes and my shortcomings, and they will only give me suggestions for improvement so I can become better in future. Well, the rules of the game were soon forgotten, and I was reminded of many blunders I made in the past, and I was bombarded with tons of advice on how I could become a better person. The floodgates opened, all complaints that were buried deep inside came out in the open. The game did not end well. But you will be pleased to know that over the years, I have gotten better on many issues, and our family has become better in having difficult conversations with each other. It's all good, guys. We are still together. Do you have any such stories to share? I'm eager to hear. Number seven, feedforward exercise is a great team building tool when all members of the team, including leaders, participate. It generates goodwill and solidifies the bond among participants. Guys, I'm not suggesting that you gloss over obvious mistakes and low performance issues. Direct developmental feedback is required if there are performance issues. For having those tough conversations, what works best is ATA model or ask, tell and ask model. Please watch my video on ATA model. Link is in the description. As I mentioned, most people are already self-aware of what they are lacking. By focusing on the positives, you will discover that most people handle the negatives on their own. People are so much tougher on themselves than others might be. Guys, we cannot change the past, but we can change the future. That's why Feedforward works. It's a great tool for performance improvement and team building. It improves connectivity and alignment across the organization. Simply, it is an excellent strategy that allows leaders to anticipate problems and develop non-aggressive internal communication with their teams. So try Feedforward assessment with your team and you will be amazed at the results. You are remarkable. You are a person of excellence. Keep pressing forward. Take charge and be victorious.